There we go. Jiminy Christmas. Welcome back, everyone. J-Boat here for Total Nonstop Impact. I got the whole crew here. All three of us. This is tremendous. We got Alicia and Mr. Front Row Bill is back. How you guys doing?
Everybody's here.
Doing good. Doing good, Bo, man. Happy Thursday.
Thursday, yes. Always good when we can get the whole crew in here. I was going to say we're 2 for 2. No, we're not. We're 1 for 1, but that's okay. Bill, you feeling better?
New streak. Oh yeah. No, I was.
Yes.
I was. No. I was just I was just a little tuckered out still from getting over a little stomach virus going around, and then it didn't feel like I would be at my best. I would have been at half speed last week, so gave the TNI fam a break.
Rest is best.
Oh yeah, no one feels like being live when they're you got like half the energy and no.
Not on a Thursday. Got a break.
No, you gotta, yeah, exactly. Gots to bring it for this audience because we have the best audience in the world. I want to invite you guys, or thank you guys for being here tonight. So in the chat, sound off if you're here. And we have to kick things off here. Want to recognize. Where's the first one? There it is. This one came in before we got live. Actually, both of them did, for that matter. Dr. Gerbs with a 20 super chat. Thank you. Says, congrats to Savannah Evans. Had to use that callback. LOL. New till Valentine's Day. Cat love for 25%. I'm guessing that means off. Pick up scents like Jake something special. Oh, sweet pipe tobacco, frankincense, and citrus musk. That's interesting. Is that what he smells like? Just in case
he plugs in anyway.
Just in case you were ever wondering just in case you were ever wondering what Jake something smells like, there you go. A little bit of frankincense.
If you get that close, you might be in trouble.
Right. Beard oils, of course. All right. And then we got one here from Ronan. Ronan, what is up? Good to see you here. Super chat. We got a $5 spot. Just wanted to say that I'm excited. The Goonies sequel is coming. What?
Goonies never say die, J-Bone.
I guess.
I mean, yeah, cool.
Goonies are good enough, as the old Cyndi Lauper song says. It's one of my favorite songs from the 80s.
Thank you.
80s babies. That's right. That is right. Well, I'm a 70s baby, but I grew up in the 80s, so I appreciate all things 70s, 80s, and early 90s. All right. So, but yeah, thank you very much, guys. Greatly appreciated. Great way to help support the show. We want to thank our members as well. We also want to thank our sponsor, Manscaped. 20% off plus free shipping. Use code TNI. Oh, Bill. You know, little mystery there.
Oh. Always got to make sure you're scaped. Got to always make sure you're scaped.
Okay. I didn't know we were going to be showing that off tonight. All right.
That's the beauty. You don't got to show
we'll just let the mystery live on for the audience. Nobody wants to see this. Mr. 50-year-old salt and pepper chest here. Yeah, all right. So for those of you who do dabble in other wrestling stuff, we're going to talk about some different things that happened this last week, just outside of the realm of TNA, but still, pretty close to home. There was that little thing called the Royal Rumble. Did you guys happen to see the Royal Rumble or catch any clips?
No.
No?
Yes,
Bill, you did? Okay.
I did.
There was a certain TNA World Champion.
Ooh.
World champion and former Knockouts champion that made her debut as well. Very exciting. Very exciting. Joe Hendry made his appearance with the TNA championship, came down to the ring. Now, he did not last too long, unfortunately. Alicia, you look like you got...
No, go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay. He didn't last too long. I'm trying to remember if he had an elimination. I think he did. Something tells me he did. But man, 70,000 people absolutely knew who Joe Hendry. And that was very exciting.
Big pop.
Seriously, big pop. Big
Sheamus was amazing.
Sheamus was entertained. Yeah, and I don't think much entertains Sheamus lately. But he was absolutely entertained. Unfortunately, taken out by the OTC. But yeah, still good to see him. Fun moment. The men's and women's Rumble was a lot of fun this year. And I felt like there was a lot of new names in there that made it fun. A lot of, you didn't see you saw some of the same old ones that you've seen last, several years, men and women alike, but it's nice to get those surprises in there. So on the women's side of things, we got a nice surprise. Well, we kind of knew she was going to be there, even though she said no. She said she wasn't going to be there. Former TNA three-time Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace, now a part of the WWE roster, made her debut. Second appearance.
NXT or main roster?
As WWE. Yeah.
Second appearance, but official main roster debut.
No, good for her. Right
Yeah.
on the fast track, like she deserves.
She looked amazing. She had she had the first holy shit moment of the night.
Okay.
For those of you, Blacksmith, good evening. Saw your stuff advertised a lot tonight, folks. Go to that Blacksmith page that they've been advertising so much. Get that TNA merch.
Yeah.
Times.
If there's any deals, let us know, Blacksmith, because we know TNA merch has a deal that was going tonight, 20% off. What was that? TNA Live, I believe, is the code for that. So there's a couple deals going.
Oh, really?
So get your merch.
And that's rare.
Yeah. They don't do it that often.
No, was that?
They did it, I think, during the live episode, and then they're doing it again tonight.
Okay. I must have missed that.
They just put it as like a graphic during the show.
Okay. Ooh, I'm going to have to find that graphic. Give me some merch. By the way, the new merch looks incredible. And they got a lot of new varieties, too. Especially...
It was Live 20. Live 20.
Live 20?
I'll give you the image.
Thank you. Tremendous. Yeah, and they're advertising the next live one. That's going to be February 20th. Bill, are you going to be in Full Sail for that one?
I'll be down at Full
Wow.
Sail.
Oh,
It's been a while, hey?
Oh, well, I've never been
Oh,
to Full
that's
Sail.
right. Oh, I'm
I've been
thinking of
outside.
I'm
Full
thinking
Sail.
of the Orlando.
You're thinking of the
Yes.
Impact Zone.
Yes.
Universal. I'll be at Universal, but
Wow.
no. When the shows I've gone to NXT for were all at the Performance Center. So I have not been to Full Sail. Like I was in the Full Sail like parking lot, because what they would do is they bus you over to the Performance Center. They don't want you parking there, so you go to Full Sail, you park, you get in a bus, and then you go over to the Performance Center.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But now I'll actually stay there.
Right.
So looking forward to it.
Nice.
Another check box off the old wrestling list.
Yeah, something new. Very cool. All right, back to the Rumble. What was I saying? Oh, the first holy shit moment of the Rumble, because the women's Rumble match was first. So Piper Niven got in the ring, and Jordan Grace. I mean, that was actually quite the comedic moment, because Chelsea Green was trying to stay alive in the in the Royal Rumble without getting tossed out by Bianca Belair and Naomi, among others. So she was waiting for her backup to show up. Well, she finally shows up, and one of the first moments of her in the ring, Jordan Grace takes her, lifts her up, and gives her a Death Valley Driver.
She's
Pat
strong.
McAfee even screamed, "Holy shit!" He could not censor himself.
it's amazing.
Like 70,000 people. Holy shit, man! It was,
Hashtag tough bitch.
what's that?
Hashtag tough bitch.
Yes,
Sorry.
and that just. I think that fired up a lot of people seeing that. It was like, yeah, let's go, man. That's
LFG.
Jordan Grace has arrived, and man, I'm so stoked. Most people are saying she's gonna be arriving as far as TV wise in NXT, but wherever she goes, she's going to, of course, we got to use that old pun. She's going to make an impact. So
There you go.
So yeah, very exciting for her. Congrats to her, and to Joe.
Congrats.
So, showing off that beautiful TNA World Championship. Okay, now this is okay. That is. Let's see if we can do a little share screen-a-rooney here. Here's the visual. Tonight only. Get 20% off your order at tnamerch.com. Use offer code LIVE20. There we go. Go get that TNA merch.
Which I don't know what time that ends, if that's Eastern or if that's another time zone. So you might be in the last hour of that. So FYI, multitask. If you're with us live,
Hopefully.
you need to get some
There
merch.
you go. Oh, look, a fellow Rambler is in the chat. Good evening, Baron. For those of you that watch my other show, the Baron is a part of it. Someone say weed? Yes. I'm here. Is that? I'm looking at the profile pic. Is that Christopher from The Sopranos? Is that what it is?
That's what it looks like.
Michael Imperioli?
That's it. I couldn't think of his name. Yeah, it is the Baron. Yes, yeah. Good to see you here, brother. Good to see you here. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate it. Well,
I thought you were going to get after all the dirt.
Yeah, I wanted to start off with the Rumble stuff because I felt it was pretty significant to talk about
Appearances.
that. But that's not the only fun appearance we had this week.
What?
Well, formerly known as Fandango.
He popped up in the Rumble?
No, but he popped up
somewhere else.
in NXT this week on Tuesday
Oh, okay.
to check
The return of
the return of Johnny Curtis, aka Fandango. Music hit, and of course the way NXT's studio is, whenever there's music played for someone's theme, there's a giant 7-foot section from around the top shows off the the screen. And it was all bright purple Fandango dancing silhouettes, and it was the music.
Yeah, the Fandango song, not as
the classic Fandango song is playing, blasting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he leaned into it. Love to see it.
So he showed up. He challenged Lexus King,
formerly known as Brian
Pillman Jr. Yes. Yeah, the Lexus King. It just, I don't know. It still doesn't roll off the tongue, but nonetheless,
well, that's right out of the WWE name factory.
It is. He's starting to make some waves. It's taken him a while, but he's starting to. And the facial hair, my God. I mean, I know my facial hair is nothing to brag about, but.
Is it facial hair?
You have facial hair?
Well, it's more I'm talking about Lexus King, because it's quite a we might have to share screen of Rooney a picture of his face to show Alicia.
I might,
because it's a sight.
Yeah, I think you're right. I might have to.
It's a look.
Good.
You're
Thanks,
good.
though.
You don't have.
Although he might have more serotonin than the self-proclaimed.
No association.
It looks like he'd fit in now with that facial hair. But
yeah, this picture right here. Hang on.
It's a choice.
Some of this.
But yeah, the system is in NXT. The system storyline is in NXT.
Give me 2 seconds here. This is the best one here. There you go. Look at this. Look.
Looks like a villain.
He does.
It
does.
Painted on.
It's almost.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't think it's facial hair. I think it's paint. He said it was paintbrush.
I don't know. I mean, you can see
nobody has that kind of perfect hairline. That's all painted in.
It's yeah.
Yeah, there might be some hair there, but then there's a lot.
Well, you can tell he's in
paint by numbers.
He's in a place right now where you can get these professionally done. I mean, there are guys that do this. You just don't see that a lot.
You could probably get it tattooed on. Never have to manscape again.
Man. Wait, is that all you gotta
Don't get your manscapes mixed up, though. You don't
Just...
want to cross contaminate the beard and the shimmer. Sorry.
That's like crossing streams.
Yeah.
Crossing the streams, yes. Absolutely.
So unsanitary.
You see a big old paintbrush. Just
That's like the beard I imagine the devil having.
Yes, very, very
yeah,
much like
or
Very
something.
sharp, just sharp and painted on.
It's like one of those. One of, it's like a character out of a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I don't know.
But now that makes me think you might see said beard now on TNA television because they're having this angle with him and the Heritage Cup that Lexus King has, and they'll be in NXT territory at the next taping. So I think there's a good chance you see Lexus King on TNA. So get ready for a little Lexus King.
Could be.
Surely.
Baron says, fun fact. I met the Manscaped CEO in Vegas in 2023 at a cannabis event. Who'd have thunk, Baron? Who'd have thunk?
What's that?
Manscaped. what is that? Kid show.
Cannabis. Cannabis. Yeah. Quite the business, I hear.
Oh, business. Talking big business. You're talking
the Baron
TNA.
is a businessman. We'll just say that. Legal. All legal. Just want to put that out there.
That's right.
So that people are like, oh, who are you rolling with, Bone Man? It's all legit.
Yeah, okay.
It's all legit.
Sure, Jan. Anyway, as far as news, is that about wrap it up, or we got any more little throw-ins?
I got a feeling if we have anything else, it's going to be from Bill. But I wanted to put those appearances out there, the 2 Rumble ones and the 1 NXT one. Bill, you got anything?
There's not a lot of news. There's like some updates on ticket movement and what the last week's show had the best rating in Canada so far.
Oh.
So things are looking up for that TV deal. I think there's rumblings that the India deal with WWE's ending soon. So if TNA were to take that spot with Sony 6, that could be out there in the near future. I think that's obviously what they're aiming to do because that was their best international deal in the past. Okay. So I could maybe see some type of announcement in the next few weeks for that. So yeah, no. I'm sure we'll see possibly some new names as we get down to Florida. Now, once again, that could be big with the NXT partnership, for sure. But definitely some stuff on the horizon. And we'll talk about later, but we had a former TNA member return tonight, but we'll talk about that when we get to that part.
That was very exciting. Yeah, we'll get to that.
And obviously Sunday, go Birds.
Go Birds.
That's the news. Me and Tom Hannafin, go Birds.
Go Birds. You're talking about your Philadelphia Eagles.
That's the big game.
Down with the Chefs.
Yes, the Chefs. Yes. That's right. One of the great commercials.
Googly moogly.
The great commercials.
I love that commercial. It's hilarious. So, and speaking of football, I got to throw this in there because otherwise Mayor's just going to keep retyping it. Love you, Mayor. Bone Man, former Packer Sterling Sharp elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I would have, I don't keep track of who goes in unless it's a Packer here and there. But I would have thought as long as he's been out of football.
Trouble was short career due to injuries. Very obviously, Sterling was very good, but he had Shannon, his brother, had the real long career at tight end, but Sterling had those injuries that hampered him near the end of his career. Definitely working.
Okay. Yeah, Sterling's the one that played with Favre, so that goes back.
Yes. Yeah.
Good old Brett Favre.
And also congrats to former Eagle Eric Allen finally getting in. Cornerback. Well deserved. From the old gangrene defense with Reggie White and all. in the late 80s, early 90s.
That's right. Reggie White was an Eagle before he was a Packer, right? Yeah.
Yes. Infamously, God told him to sign with the Packers.
He did great stuff with the Packers. Packers loved him.
Oh, he did. Oh, he was the best. He very well is the best defensive player that ever played.
First guy to take that
the Minister of Defense.
Yeah, literally the Minister of Defense. First guy to take that trophy and run it all the way around Lambeau Stadium. I think he just kept running. Oh man, can't catch him. Yeah, tragic. We miss him. Great guy. Oh. So yeah, little bits and pieces here and there, but that's pretty much the news.
Yeah, we'll get into some more news as we go over the show. The chat, feel free to pop in anything. But yeah, no, it seems like everything's good. Tickets are moving. I think they're now, I think over 2,000 for New York for Slammiversary, which once again, big venue that I'm sure they'll continue to release even more seats. But once again, they haven't really announced anything yet. But
right.
you still have a feeling there's something big in place for that. I know a lot of TNA fans are fantasy booking that show. Like, is that where you get AJ Styles? Which we should talk about. We were talking about the Rumble. AJ Styles is back.
So
now he's in play. Play.
He is part of. I was going to say, I think he's part of the Netflix roster now, the Raw roster. Not that matters for TNA, but I'm just trying to think where. Yeah, but yeah, he's back. He's healthy. He's good. Well, yeah, there's people already saying that Hendry and Cena are going to have a match for the TNA Championship somewhere down the road later this year. That could happen at like a Slammiversary or something like that. And that's going to...
Yeah, I think the match would happen probably at WWE, but I could see some type of showdown, like an advertised appearance, that might happen at like a Slammiversary. Yeah. So, but who knows? We'll see if they embrace that or if that's just a couple guys wanting to do that, which is always another thing. Because like you look at the women's roster on WWE, there's all kinds of comments made since the Rumble. Like Bailey wants to go to TNA. Natalia said it again. Like a lot of people are saying it. Free agent out there. Indy Hartwell's talking about wanting to go to TNA. So
there's
a lot of possible people could show up one-offs, appearances, or maybe even signing.
It's a very exciting time. It really is, and it's one of those things where, we gotta make sure we're pumping the brakes a little bit. Not everybody is going to do everything at once, because then it's just going to get ridiculous. I like the fact that there's little appearances here and there. We got a little something to talk about this week, then we got a little something to talk about this week. It's, we're not talking about half a roster.
Yeah, don't waste it all. Don't waste it all on
right.
One, like
we didn't have half a roster of some show up for an invasion. It's
Let's not get crazy. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just,
right.
Enjoy it for what it is and just live in the moment.
Exactly. Yeah. Rhea Ripley. I'm just reading some of the names here. Rhea Ripley, Sol Ruca. Yeah, absolutely. Bring them in. Well, Sol Ruca already appeared, but that'd be love. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
love to see her. Absolutely, be great to bring her back.
Hang loose.
So, all right. Shall we dive into tonight's?
Ooh, let's take a dip.
I think we're gonna take a dip into tonight's show. This one's from still
San Antonio.
Still from San Antonio. Crowd seemed better. I don't know what was.
Yes,
I don't know what was filmed where, but this is one thing that Alicia and I were saying last week. That the crowd seemed a little tired, a little lackluster last week.
Yeah.
But I feel like this, whatever happened on this show, whatever stuff was taped, they were with it tonight. They really were. They woke up, which is great to see. No one wants to have a crowd that size sit on their hands, man. It's especially when you got these guys busting their ass for you. So we start out tonight,
right.
February 6th, 2025. Joe Hendry comes down. And it's interesting because they mentioned that he's, fresh off the appearance from the Royal Rumble. So you don't know if they said that live. You don't know if they just put that in post production. How they splice it, you can't tell. But nonetheless, it's fun, So Joe Hendry has a little concert for us. And this is his first big appearance since he's won the championship, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Last week was Nick Nemeth talking to the crowd, which has been comical. With his brother showing up and just making an ass of it.
My brother!
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? We might get a Ryan Nemeth sound drop. That's longer than the Ryan Nemeth story.
Right. We just might have to. But yeah, so we got some new songs tonight. Very exciting new songs. Some fun little sing-alongs.
Were they?
One was... Did Elisa not like the songs?
Grammy Award winning.
Correct.
Ooh. That's topical. Topical talk. Grammys. Hashtag Grammys.
I have no clue what happened at the Grammys, but apparently everybody's talking about them.
Oh, God. Moving on.
Yeah. I heard something about Taylor Swift, and that was it. Anyways. But yeah, so Joe Hendry does he did a little Queen song, and then he did some other stuff. Got the crowd to sing along.
So he did a Queen parody and then did his own song.
Yeah.
And then somehow in the middle of the song predicted that someone was going to come and interrupt him. And lo and behold, someone did.
He's breaking the fourth wall.
Comedic gold.
It is.
It was so funny. I can't even laugh anymore.
I'm just glad the crowd was into it. Because if the crowd wasn't into it, that'd have been, really bad. But it was. So.
Well, I think this is like we talked about the Rumble earlier, but even if you didn't see it, like if you saw any highlights, huge, obviously pop. And we've had this discussion this whole time, and now with this concert, we can talk about it again because everybody was like, "Oh, Bound for Glory, he didn't win. Did they not capitalize on the Joe Hendry momentum?"
Seems like it's still going.
I think you can see at least early returns are the momentum's still there. It is like we can talk about the viral song and stuff like that, but at least with the wrestling fans, it seems like the momentum is still there, both in TNA and outside of TNA.
Yes. Yeah.
So good start for the
It
World
was.
Champion.
And it was nice that he had like a little stand next to him and he put the belt on. That was cool. I like that.
Not our first concert, but our latest concert.
Yes. Very cool. So he gets interrupted by, now I was surprised by this, and I think I was just more surprised just because of the news that came out recently on social media. In fact, there was a post from him. So yeah, Jake something interrupts him, comes out and issues a challenge. And that's happening next week. What do you guys think about Jake something interrupting our
I thought he was injured, so it's good to see him back. I mean, clearly I'm not optimistic on the win capability here, but you know, nice start.
Yes, and sadly with the TNA timelines of how this all kind of works out, it's kind of like this is pre-injury.
Oh, right, I forgot taped.
Right.
Because they lured me in with the promise of live and put me right back into pre-tape. Right.
Well, they will be live again. That first show in Florida will be live. That's the first show in Florida.
I guess I asked this maybe last time then. So will it be every first show of a new place, new taping location? Will it?
No. No.
Why do the live?
This is all we know so far. The lives will be after the big 4 pay-per-views. And then randomly. Because like it was the first live was after Genesis. Mm-hmm. There'll be a live after Rebellion, a live after Slammiversary, a live after BFG. But they're also doing a live in Florida. So my assumption is they'll do the 4. Now this is just I'm reading the tea leaves. The 4 live after the pay-per-views, and then I'm thinking an additional 4 live, 1 quarterly. So I would say maybe 8. But hey, once again, there were 0 for 9 years. So
yeah, I know.
If you're telling me we're going to get 8, that's a big improvement. Because once again, live television, very different.
I guess honestly, it's just
Impact Plus special, TNA Plus specials.
They're just testing the waters to see how it goes, and I appreciate that regardless.
Correct. I think the relationship with WWE and NXT, I think this does go hand in hand with the possibility of this happening more and more often. If it becomes, but once again, they've already adjusted their schedule dramatically on how they film and tape shows over the last year. That would be a huge dramatic change and a much more expensive change because live TV,
right? Exactly.
One word: expensive.
It's just a tease. Such a tease. But you got to test the market, so I get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just really enjoyed the live. That's why I say.
Oh, live's great. Live's great.
That was a different kind of
probably the best case scenario, and was when they were doing the Monday nights years ago. They would do 1 live, one in the can, 1 live, 1 in the can. So you get a live episode followed by tape, live tape, live tape, live tape. But once again, they were blowing through a lot of Spike TV money back then.
That's true.
Oh yeah, can you believe that was 15 years ago?
I can.
I was there. I remember.
Because we're old, J-Bones.
No. Oh.
I was just a wee Bill back then.
I was a wee bone. Critical Stink here. Interesting question. Anybody think the live episodes are to cater to potential TV networks?
Yes.
I think everything they're doing is to cater. The live, the relationship,
enhancing the product,
like everything. And I think that's the biggest potential here with this relationship is I think that's playing a part. Like, it is great that like USA Network is like piling on every TNA related thing. Because I know every time they do it, it's like everyone's like, so you gonna pick them up? You gonna pick them up, USA? But like any of these family, like if they were to get on a USA or something, that would be huge. But once again, I don't get, just like we're talking about signings of free agents, I wouldn't get too carried away because once again, you're talking like look at the landscape on some of these major networks at how much money certain companies are throwing out to bring in names that then aren't helping getting that big of a pop on ratings. I just don't see them going down that route. So once again, I don't know, but the whole terrestrial and cable TV, I don't even know what it is anymore. Like the world landscape has changed. Like really streaming may be more like them getting a deal with Hulu or Peacock or whatever might be the better play than even any network at this point. So it's really tough to even really look at it because it's not what it was. Like when we grew up in TV wrestling, that's not what it is anymore.
No, it's all over the place.
Yeah, like it still plays a part, and I obviously can be a very valuable part. But it seems like the streamers are paying more than TV networks these days, so that might be obviously the better play for the company. So,
well, yeah, I mean,
but maybe even
Netflix is massive. Amazon Prime is massive. Max is pretty massive. So yeah, stuff, and everybody consumes content differently than they did 5-10 years ago.
Yes,
big time.
Yeah, look at us. Well, look at people consume their podcasts.
Yeah.
You got the audio, you got the live on the YouTube and the Twitch, but you got all kinds of people how they watch stuff live, they watch stuff taped. They like the days of the old the DVR recorders. There's all different kinds of ways, and now obviously with the binging with streaming. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of possibilities. Speaking of, like, obviously Anthem also has Invicta in their portfolio, the women's MMA. And I know they just redid a deal with CBS.
Yeah.
Because they air some of their fights there and in their platform. So once again, another avenue that I'm sure the new guy up in charge there that's pretty much going after these TV deals. I'm sure they're looking at all these options. But I got to imagine that the goal is to announce all this stuff this year. Like, I don't think this is it's a couple year process. I think by the time they're in a hopefully double-digit 1,000 capacity crowd in New York, I got to imagine we're going to hear most of this stuff confirmed.
Hopefully, yeah. It is an absolute process. You know, whether you love AEW or not, look how long it took them to get, make stuff happen for them. You know, so people were like, "Oh, they're dead. It ain't happening." No, well, he got a new deal.
Well, that had more to do. There were other factors.
Well, I'm just saying, it's
if Anthem buys an NFL franchise, all of a sudden everyone's going to want to do business.
Yeah,
I'll just say that.
Oh, how are they doing, by the way?
Who?
Whoever you're talking about.
I know they can buy big yachts. That's
definitely.
There's a lot of expendable money, and they want to endear themselves to that, even if ratings aren't there. Like it's a weird thing. It's a weird dynamic. But that's the power when you have a big portfolio of things worth, or if your dad does.
Yeah.
So, hey, we were there too. Like, and I'm about as big a Dixie supporter as there is, but her dad was Pan Energy, which was huge, and that got a lot of doors open for TNA back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing that happened with AEW. Like, if it wasn't for Papa Khan, no TNT, no TBS. That isn't because of how he's a very charismatic figure. That has to do with the money behind it, the billions behind it.
Yeah, it's money talks. It's money makes the world go around. So, all right. But yeah, so next week we're getting a match with Jake something and Joe Hendry.
Okay.
Yeah. And hey, good for Jake to get a shot here. And let's at least be a little honest with the Joe Hendry, new champion. He's got to go through
Yeah.
challenges.
Oh, yeah.
And how is he going to do it? Like, do you just want a bunch of people coming from outside for him to run through? He's going to have to run through part of the roster. So it gives a little rub to everybody in that. And Jake after the Hammerstone thing, but now if he's in, I don't know a lot of the details because I think that was all what that came out through Revolver because he had a match scheduled for Revolver, I think, last week, and he couldn't compete due to injury. So hopefully it's not a long-term thing like Hammerstone's is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Next, we got Gia Miller backstage with Masha talking about the Knockouts Battle Royal that's coming up this episode. First match of the show. Was very excited to see this one because I didn't know exactly who was going to be facing Ace Austin here. But it's NXT's Tyson Dupont is the last name. That is the tag team partner of Tyriek, one half of you'd say the muscle behind Wes Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wesley's posse.
Yeah. So all right, we'll get Alicia back in here. Uno momento. All right.
Bilingual J-Bone.
Yeah. Yeah, my Chinese is on point. Yeah. So Tyson versus Ace. What did you think of this, Bill?
Well, this was I enjoyed it. I obviously I'm not that familiar with Tyson, but obviously big guy. So seeing Ace here, obviously with his more, I'd say very well-rounded game at this point. Like Ace can do some high flying, but he's technically sound. He kind of does it like very, very reminiscent of the young AJ Styles of TNA. So seeing him, he looked good here. Obviously, the worry of a numbers game in a match like this because of the crew of Wes Lee. But seeing Ace come out on top was good to see. But obviously, he may have won the battle, but the war is a whole nother thing because of Wes Lee and his antics. But no, I thought it was a good match. I was impressed.
Yeah, we saw the Rascals show up and help Ace after being
yes, even the odds.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. One thing I absolutely do not get tired of seeing, Bill, that finisher of Ace's, that fold.
Oh, the fold, love
amazing.
The fold.
And
usually at some point during a match, you'll hear me yell out, "Time for the fold!" No one kicks out of the fold. Like, and I'll give TNA. Obviously, we've had different people now creatively in charge, but I'd say it very well is the most protected finisher in the company.
It's definitely top 3.
He hits the fold, match is over.
And every time,
like, there's been shenanigans once or twice where, like, oh, maybe he hits it and then something happens where he can't get to a pin or something. But there's never a time where he hits it and goes for a pin and doesn't get it.
Right. And every time I see him hit it, there's a little thing in the back of my head that says, that's a finisher of a future world champ right there.
It's a great finisher. It's a great, like, that's the thing. Like, he has all the tools. And I know we talked about, obviously, early on. Now, once again, we're talking way back. We're talking about, like, when the Don Callis era and stuff, where there was a lot of promotion for Ace going after the world title and going for that youngest champ mantle. And it was very much in play. Like, it could have been done. I think we were all believing of the possibility. But then, obviously, things change. Like, stories change, all that. But I think, obviously, sadly, obviously, with Chris Bay's injury and now Ace being more solo, he's been going back and forth, teaming with the Hardys, now kind of aligned with the Rascals. But I still think, like, you have a lot of possibility here. But obviously now, times change. Like the Hendry wave took over, and then obviously some ones before that. But I think you still have a very good option in Ace, just like Eddie. You can always go to Eddie. You can always go to Ace. Like you need him in the X division, you need him in the world title scene, you need him in the tag scene. He's a do-it-all guy here, just like EY has always been for this company as well. But I still think the sky's the limit with Ace Austin.
Oh yeah. I think something major is going to happen to him over the course of the next year.
Yeah, and honestly, the stuff with Wes Lee, that's probably going to give him some of that NXT rub where he's making crossover appearances, which could be huge for a guy like Ace, because I could see the WWE audience really gravitating to him as like, oh, that guy's awesome.
Yeah.
Sadly, like the one thing he probably, like we're talking about the finisher in ring, he's got the look, the charisma. But what he probably needs to get that WWE stamp of approval, he needs a chant. He needs a catchphrase. It's probably his next thing. Like the Fold's a great name for the move, but he needs that one other thing to get over. Like you see, Jey Uso is now the man in WWE because of the yeet. Like Bryan Danielson's great wrestler. It took the yes thing to get him over. That sometimes that's what matters. A theme song, a chant, a catchphrase, and that's that crossover appeal. That's that crossover appeal. But like everything else, like Ace God has it in spades. So that's just maybe the one thing. And once again, I'm not saying for the TNA audience because I don't think that matters, but for that audience, that probably does. That's the one thing to figure out.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Ace Austin 316. That's right. Bring it back. And I'll tell you what. Now, obviously, that's not going to play on WWE TV, but that era of like dirty Ace Austin, that was a great era. Like that's the thing, and that's kind of the era where he was going. Like it was post like his X Division heights at a very young age. But like then he transitioned more baby face and stuff and got away from dirty Ace Austin, we'll call it. But that was some good stuff. Like he has some range. And now that's quite some time ago, so you have to pay attention. Like Critical Sting, you're getting old with all us at this point.
Right. Ace Austin 316 says, I just folded your ass in half. Make it happen. Make it happen. All right. So yeah, fun first match here. Promo from Tessa here. Basically just, snarky as hell. She's like, I'm not doing this knockouts battle royal. That's like beneath her. It's like, I don't need that. It's like, oh.
What are your thoughts on that, J-Ben?
It's
an interesting approach. They're really, the way they're kind of using Tessa is very interesting. Like, because she's only had one match this whole time.
What?
Like they're really keeping her. Like they're like she's being held in reserve.
Yeah. It's like they're keeping her. I don't want to say they're keeping her away from the rest of the knockouts because they're really not. I mean, she pie-faced Gia Miller.
Well, yeah, she gets involved. Like she's just not in matches.
She came out last week for that promo? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
great
so
promo.
she's
killed it.
we are seeing her. She's making her presence felt. It's just, she's laying down the Blanchard law right now. What she is going to do, what she's not going to do,
yeah, like a SWAC fan says, very calculated.
You're getting history lessons.
We're on her time. We're
Exactly.
on her time.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're gonna
Tessa time.
You're gonna get stuff from Tessa when Tessa wants it to happen. So, very, very matter.
But it makes Tessa feel even bigger. Like we talk about Tessa, and that's why I was advocating for the return for a long time when on the show people thought I was crazy, J-Bone. But she's got that you see that she is a star, and that's what was needed, especially with Jordynne Grace being known to be exiting. So you had to fill that void, and that they're playing it very well with Tessa right now. Like they had it because, like I said, I know we were talking about it a few months before it happened, where it did seem like they were talking, and I think they figured out well, let's figure the right time. And I think when they knew the Jordynne stuff was coming to a head, they're like, okay, now's the time for the transition.
Yeah. She's out. She's in.
And the slow build. Yeah. And it's been done very well. Like, honestly, I think we're going to look back and be like, because remember that this is a powder keg that they kind of were getting into. There was going to be a divide among fans. There was going to be a divide among a lot of things.
Oh, sure.
But I think they're handling it very well right now. They're all handling it very well.
Yeah.
So kudos.
Yeah. And you're not going to bring everyone on the Tessa train. You're not.
No.
You know, there's always going to be those fans that are like, oh, I am so this is the best one. This is the best one. I am so, you know what? I'm not angry. I'm just TNA. I'm disappointed. It's
as long as they were disappointed prior to her world championship run.
All right, so Mrs. J-Bone just said it. What'd you say, babe?
Welcome to life.
Yeah, welcome to life. Welcome to life. I'm just disappointed, Bill. I'm proclaimed.
There you go.
So
that could be J-Bone's new wrestling fan persona.
As my wife just said so delicately, suck it up, Buttercup. I love you, babe. But that's the thing. Just you don't have to love it, but let's not be stupid about this. So all right.
I just ask for consistency. If you were a like an anti-Tessa before she won the belt from Sammy, then go ahead. Continue. Yeah. You're more than welcome to that. But don't relitigate the past here. Unless obviously you're a big the whole COVID thing with the title. That's a whole nother thing. And that's where, if that's your, more than welcome to go after that too. But it feels like people mix up the message a lot of the time on what's what and when what happened on the timeline. So.
Right. It's, people make mistakes. People do stupid shit.
Hey, this is the wrestling business.
Yeah.
This is the carny business. That's always going to happen. If there's no point in bringing up like a lot of dirty laundry, but a lot of Mount Rushmores out there for people, no matter what company you want, they're not clean. They're not clean.
No, everybody's done stupid stuff that they're not happy with, and
they're all different levels. Like I know McAfee had the Hulkster on the other day talking about the booze he got when he last showed up.
Did he?
And he's in that river of the Nile, but once again, like there's all these things, like there's different histories, there's people obviously like domestic disputes, there's all kinds of things like in this business where no matter what business you go in, you see it with actors, you see it in sports, you see it in your daily workplace. It just depends on what you want to, like, if you want to follow it, not follow it, people, like, you're always welcome to opinions, but well, let's not act like there's just one or two bad apples that you like or don't like because of something. But once again, just like anything else, if people are working to try to do their best and move forward, I think that's all you can ask. And if they're on their good behavior, because remember, people said the same things about Jeff Hardy coming back, the TNA, and model citizen. That's the biggest draw in the company right now, and there's no debating it. The Hardys are the biggest draw. In TNA.
Absolutely, yeah. They are. They still have the it factor. They have the nostalgia factor. They are still in great shape.
And once again, they're using them exactly right. Like they're like the same way. Like having them on TV just enough, using them at live events just enough. Like they're not overexposing them, but they're not holding them back too much where you're not getting enough for everybody for it to work well for everybody. And once again, it's like they're doing it real good with Tessa right now. They're doing it real good with the Hardys, and they're doing it real good with Joe Hendry. And this is the foundation of your company right now.
Yeah, like they're using them to help sell tickets. You know, they're doing meet and greets with them.
They're doing the media the week before for all these things. Like they're going, I think it was announced, they're going to the Islanders game at the end of the month to promote ticket sales for Slammiversary in a couple months. Like they're the ambassadors. Like that, kudos. Like I'll always give credit. Like when Trinity was here and other stuff like that. Like Nick Nemeth. Like these people now, because I was a TNA fan when they were bringing in former WWE big names.
Oh, sure.
And they would never talk about the company. Like they would show up, they'd cash a check. They might give a pretty good effort in the ring and stuff like that, but almost nobody ever promoted the company. Like when they were giving interviews, they would just talk about the WWE.
Well, see, and that's
their past time.
And that's just the audience was so different back then. The audience was different.
Was it? I think the TNA
social media was different,
but the TNA audience was there, and they just saw, well, this guy's just taking our money, and never cared. But now it's much different. You can tell the people they bring in, they're actually invested. Like they,
and that's the thing.
They're proudly wearing the badge.
TNA is trying to scratch and claw and get back to a piece of what it was before. You know, and it's taken them years. You know, it hasn't been overnight. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of consistent dedication from the roster, whether people come or go. You know, consistency, and it's just, you know, I think back then when you had Booker T, when you had Kevin Nash, when you had Kurt Angle. You know, people were going to be in those seats. You know, they didn't have to jump through hoops. They didn't have to do a million meet and greets and stuff like that. They showed up, they did their stuff.
But they could have.
They could have.
That's the thing. And there were still like dirt sheets and newspaper. Like when you were going into a town, they were interviewing these people, and it was, like I said, it was a different era. We'll let it go. Bygones are bygones. And like I said, I still enjoyed a lot of the people that came through, but it was a different time. And now and you see it, like we talked earlier about post-Rumble, all the people talking about TNA, because now it's a generation that grew up watching TNA. Yeah. And it's much different than when it was new to people and there wasn't a nostalgia for them for it. Now it's looked at much more positively. So kudos.
Yeah. And it's that hard work. People are seeing it. You know, people are seeing.
Yeah, like that we're even talking right now, like in the legend in the chat, David Penzer, that we're even having a conversation like that. This is a question and it's feasible. It's not 100% nonsense,
right?
Like it's a possibility. Do you think Hendry versus Cena is possible at BFG? The hints are there. That it's even in the conversation with even a percentage of a chance is something. Because the idea of John Cena ever being part of a TNA show was just up there in lollipop rainbow craziness. Right. And now there is actually a possibility it could happen. Now, I'm going to say likelihood is still it doesn't happen. But could it? I'd say the percentage right now it's low, but is it 15%? 20% maybe?
Oh, I think it's a lot higher.
I think it's less
than
50%.
I look at Cena. The reason why I say that, Bill, is because conversations are happening.
I think there's going to be something. I think they're going to fight. I just don't think it's going to be at TNA. Well, I think it's going to be on WWE. But I think he'll appear. I think he's going to appear.
I don't care where it is, Bill. I don't care if it's on the moon. I don't care if it's in somebody's basement.
I think they might have a concert, a dual concert. We might get Thugonomics to come back.
Oh, Chain Gang, baby. I believe in a chain gang. Make it happen. Yeah, absolutely, it's gonna happen. Oh, we got an Alicia back. Hello.
Oh. Hello.
So yeah, we were just talking about I don't know how the hell we got on that. We're all over the place tonight, but that's okay. We're having great conversations. We were talking about Tessa, and then we floated into the whole David Penzer put the question up there, the possibility of Cena versus Hendry. So we were just talking about that a little bit. All right, so now we're into the Knockouts Battle Royal here.
I like a good battle royale.
Now, I didn't write all the names down here. Now, this wasn't a huge one, but we did get a really nice surprise, a really nice little nostalgia, a little throwback. Jazz showed up.
It's good to see Jazz.
Yeah. What'd you think, Bill?
It was great to see Jazz. Always welcome. Obviously, local to the area, so made a lot of sense. But obviously, she's had some great runs in TNA previously, a legend. So
not that long ago.
No, I thought that was good. Yeah, not that long ago. Obviously, she was doing stuff with Jordan Grace, and obviously, bam. So
ODB, yes. And they even mentioned that she is part of the I don't know, I'm paraphrasing here, but we'll just call it the San Antonio chapter of NWA down there, and that she works with them behind the scenes and such. So it was nice, you know. The NWA got a nice little nod from them, you know, and I think that's proper nowadays. I think we're really getting away from the, we're not going to talk about this company or that group anymore from where they came from. No, now today it's, look at where Hendry just was. He was a part of the Royal Rumble, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to show you a little footage of it too. You know, it's like we're in that day and age now where we're sharing media. And it's just,
what? Yeah. Well, hey, if you're watching the Rumble or even their weekly, like when they're talking Penta and when they're talking machine guns, they mention TNA every time they talk about either of them, which is awesome. I know the Penta stuff's getting under the internet wrestling community's skin because he is a former world champion in TNA, Penta, and a tag team champion, and the other company that honestly wasted him for the majority of his tenure there. They just can't handle it. They can't handle it right now. that they're popping off about all this exploits in TNA, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I do love that his world title reign was one set of
For
tapings.
sure,
though.
for sure.
It was short, but it was also in a time where they needed to do something to really.
Oh yeah, that was the word Aries. Although you look back, I knew it at the time because they had all those guys. Like they had all the luchadors and that relationship going. Like you were loaded. Like they had obviously now known as Escobar and obviously Angel Garza and all those guys back then. Like they were loaded.
A lot of
with
Lucha
talent.
Underground guys.
But most people didn't know a lot of those guys. Like a lot of people didn't know them, so they weren't. But it's one of those things where at the time, a lot of people were like, "Oh man, where's the talent? Where's the main eventers and all that?" But now you look back and it's like absolutely stacked.
Yeah,
back then.
Yeah, ton of Lucha Libre guys. Half the roster was like AAA Lucha Underground guys that just came over because they wanted to get out of their contracts, and they're working on that whole.
I was loving that.
Conan's like trying to work on the whole expansion of Lucha Libre into America, and look where it went over the course of a few years. It was just wild,
Yeah, like if that's one thing, like I know we bring it up from time to time, that's lacking right now. That like you got Laredo Kid, and I wouldn't say he's utilized 100% the best right now. So but that's like that's your lucha right now. Like there's not a lot of it. Go ahead, Alicia.
We're talking about the women's battle royal.
We were
battle royale. Yes.
We
were
we're all over the place tonight. We're off the.
Well, we got to get back to what happened. Who? Oh wait. Well, first on commentary, Cora Jade.
Cora Jade. Oh, okay. So yeah, Cora Jade's on commentary. Alicia, you said something in the chat while I was live that I want you to bring up here because I feel like it's meant to be discussed a little.
She was flat on the mic. She has no kind of personality.
Thank you. Yeah, she's for lack of better words,
good wrestler. Never take that away from her, but she's got some work to do.
She's got a presence, she's got some charisma, but on the mic, she's like, I'm here and I don't need to be.
I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't like her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It just.
Well, I think that might be a trend of who you might see show up from NXT. Like once again, Cora Jade's getting, like she's been pushed obviously to an extent in NXT, but that's something she I'm sure they know. They're not dumb down there. They know you need to get better talking. You need to get better at that part of your game. So
she just
I think TNA is going to give an avenue to do that.
Yeah.
Got to get the energy.
Something. Yeah.
Because just to put it in comparison, I'm not sure who the girl who jumped on commentary later on during the tag match. That is the contrast of someone who can be on the mic and just kind of freestyle and be personal, like have a personality and character and stuff. And it was just an interesting contrast.
That is.
Oh, you're talking about the liaison.
I don't watch
Ariana
WWE
Grace
or NXT.
So no relation to the director of Authority.
No, none. No.
Anyway,
wink. Yeah, that's Santino's daughter. So,
and again, no knock at Cora, but something's not connecting there, and it needs some work.
Yeah, like
you're right. That's a good example, though. But you're right. Like Ariana Grace, although she obviously has more of a promo talking character in NXT as well, but she's been doing that obviously now in TNA for a bit and getting even better at it. Like she's fantastic at what she's doing. But that's the whole point. That's part of this relationship is for
go somewhere and
developmental.
Go somewhere and learn.
Yeah,
both ways.
Yes.
You're
get more TV time. Like we were saying earlier. Like
my point is she's getting pushed. This is a big deal, and I from what I gather, she's pretty big in NXT. So if you're gonna be pushed, you kind of have to. I don't know. What do I know?
You're saying you should already be there. You're saying
I'm not saying you should already be there, but like she's been there kind of a while, and she's been in the business a while, and you know what I mean. Like it's not new, and I felt like there just was nothing to connect to with her on the
until she got obviously to WWE, and that's the obviously the biggest negative of the indie scene, because she is she's not a performance center person. She is an indie person. Like she was an indie wrestler. So she was focused on good matches, not really having to cut promos and things like that. She had her, as you talked about last time, her little coffin gimmick, and she had a gimmick. But good matches and good gimmick was what she needed to do. Like you rarely hear people pick up a mic in an indie show. It's a rare
because in indie shows storylines aren't really a thing. They're just matches.
There is no storylines rarely. Maybe the title. If there's a title, there's a storyline for a title, but that's usually about it at an indie show. So that's where you're going to be the most inexperienced for sure. And then when you talk about going on television, where you need to talk, you need
and it's WWE, so it's just kind of weird that she should have that training. They provide it.
Yeah,
there is, but there's a difference between like practicing it and doing it in front of people. Like they try to do those small house shows down in Florida at like high schools and stuff. But once again, I think that's more for just knowing how to wrestle in front of people. I don't think they're focusing a ton on promos there either. So I think that's why both companies are really looking at this as a way to work together. And they kind of like, I think, and people can speak to this much better than I can, but I think Cora Jade, she's been pushed and all in NXT, but she was part of like a girl group faction, right? Where she didn't have to do the heavy lifting.
And now she's solo or with
so now she's solo here. She's solo
here. Okay.
Solo. Well, yeah, but I got a feeling because she said something about bringing some backup. I'm pretty sure.
Well, she said she had a friend. She only likes her friend.
And that's
a lot of like and dislike.
And that's Roxanne Perez.
Okay.
So I got a feeling whatever's going to happen with Cora Jade may expand to, we may see more faces show up to back her up. Maybe. Just a thought. Maybe. Because I'm like, okay, they're not going to mention it if they're not going to do something with it. But who knows? I do want to say thank you to Swag Fan. $5 super chat. Much love, bro. He says the good thing about sending NXT people to TNA is they're not under the WWE umbrella. They can learn under a different atmosphere. It helps. Oh yeah, it's a different atmosphere. It's a different locker room. It's a different road traveled. Period. You know, you're gonna have different faces, different journeys. You're going to have veterans. You're going to have rookies. The whole full spectrum. You're going to see that in TNA. You know, Cora can talk to. She could talk. Well, shoot. You know, Jazz showed up. She could talk to Jazz. She can talk to the Hardys, for crying out loud. All the tools are there.
Right.
So
smart.
I think it'll get better. So.
Hey, who knows? Get the fan base really riled up, and 6 months from now, a year from now, you hear how they all got great advice from Tessa, locker room leader.
Aaron Jack says we need the lollipops back. They're sitting right here, man. I just haven't touched them in a while. So
that's where old gimmicks go to die, right
here on YouTube. And the bone danas are right next to me over here, but right now.
Now, J-Bone, I feel like we got to get there because even for us, we went off the rails. We still haven't even said who won this battle royal.
Savannah Evans, and that's on fucking business, bitch.
Friend of the
Finally.
show, Savannah.
Yes, friend of the show. Love saying that. Yes. Yeah, we had her on. It was a while ago, but yes, absolutely. Nice to see something positive happen. She's been back for a little bit now.
She's a force to be
little
reckoned with,
bit.
and it's fine. It's time to start recognizing her. Like,
Yeah.
Well, they kind of played it like how you would imagine a battle
she's got
royal
good mic
should.
skills.
Like the one
like,
that's bigger and stands out. Like, who would be the toughest to eliminate just looking? Oh, Savannah Evans would be the toughest to eliminate. And guess what? She was.
Yeah. Or Jazz, just knowing experience-wise, but still, yeah.
But she had a great show, and she had a very good showing.
the categories.
Cats agree.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oreo's going nuts over here. Sorry. But yeah, so nice win for Savannah Evans. Next we got Eric Young.
She's going to get a title shot.
What's that?
That was what was on the line there, right? A title shot.
She's going to get the title shot. Is it next week or is it just somewhere in the future?
We'll have to see. See what's advertised for next
Oh,
week.
never mind. Never mind.
I know Jake Somethings is next week. I'm not sure if Savannah's.
Yeah, I don't know if they double up title shots.
I mean, they could. It wouldn't be a bad thing.
Before.
They don't do it a lot, but they could.
Giving it all away.
Right. You get a title shot. You get a title shot. All right. Eric Young and the Northern Armory. I was really looking forward to this. Especially with just the visual for the that they put advertising it made me excited. I'm like, because they showed the Northern Armory guys, is it Icarus and Williams? Is that it? I think they showed them in EY's mask, and I was like, oh, right, they're gonna fit right in, a couple of your young maniacs, Oh, they're saying it is next week. Okay.
Yes, confirmed.
All right.
Yes.
Can someone clarify for me before I lose my mind?
Oh.
What's going on with Josh Alexander? Did he resign or is he going?
He's leaving.
Well, I think they're advertising it his last match.
But wait. He lost the I Quit match. Okay, so that was the first write out, and then he got jumped by the Northern Armory, and that was the second write out, and now he's getting a third write out.
It's
extension.
Yeah.
What's happening here? Because
putting everyone over out the door.
That's what's happening. Okay, thank you. Because I have words, but I just.
It's okay.
This isn't endearing at all.
Critical sting. The walking weapon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So technically, his contract ends middle of February. So where this stuff is going to happen in front of our eyes on TV, it's all going to take place perfectly. He's going to have his last match next week, and that's going to be it. So this has all been leading up to that.
You could look at this two ways. Because we had the Mike Bailey situation where Mike Bailey, they put him on ice to end his contract. Josh, they've had him lose. They could have just left it, lose the I Quit match, do that, and then be done. But they're like, you know what? You're under contract. We're going to get you to do some more out on the way out the door, which that's good business. But you're right. He said he quit, then they convinced him to come back. They get Eric all in line now, set him up, and the Northern Armory up. So I get it, but yeah, it's a little the quit, but it's also he was going out heel. Now it's a way to maybe go out babyface.
Whatever. It's underwhelming.
And honestly, Josh was obviously the face of the company for a number of like multiple years. So I think they're probably giving him some creative freedom on his way out the door as well. And if he is going to WWE, that also might play a part in it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, Eric Young being the new leader of the Northern Armory and his little confrontation with Macklin was a little more depth, a little more emotion in the ocean. Okay.
Yeah.
I dug that. I did miss the conclusion to that as I stepped out of the room at the wrong possible time. But
well,
so
yeah,
like he was getting real emotional. Macklin was getting real emotional on Mr. Young there. And so what happened? Did they hug it out? Are they bros? Is Macklin the U.S. representative of the Canadian Armory or the Northern Armory? The Northern Armory, who wears the cool Casey?
He took a dip.
Mask from the Turtles, the Ninja Turtles.
No, Macklin is not down with the Armory. We'll say that. He
is.
Yeah, as long as Sinner and Sane are with him, he's not.
And that's upsetting because they had something good with Macklin and Young.
They did.
Well, that is the one thing I will say. Like that
was
too
fun.
soon.
They obviously were going a path. They were going a path, and they've decided to veer off the road, off that path. Much like our show, they went off the rails with that storyline, and they might pick it back up again. Like this, they at least acknowledged it, because for a second I thought they were just going to forget they did it.
And
like,
gonna be, you know what? Never mind. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm gonna say maybe Eric Young might turn on the two guys, and then it was just a swerve, a double swerve, a triple swerve. I'm not the targeted demographic.
When they get sick of listening to his raspy voice, they'll jump him, they'll turn on him, and
it's very soothing. You take that back.
And then Eric,
he's a world-class maniac.
I put that on as a night ambiance with the crackling fire.
She just
howling wind.
She just keeps playing that one sound bite that we had over and over
train
again.
Honking in the distance. Crickets.
Doesn't look like I give a damn.
See, now they need to do a segment with like Eric Young reading bedtime stories or something.
Oh God.
Like for the holidays, like have him do the night before Christmas.
Can we?
You know what?
EY.
Yes,
more EY.
All of that.
We need EY. If we're doing this, we need to go all in on this. We need Callahan and EY doing a duet. You know, and the cow jumped over the damn moon. You know, it's.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, all of it. Make it happen, J-Bone.
Hell yeah.
Well, you're talking Callahan, J-Bone. I know, especially Mayor. He's in the chat. He's not happy. He wants us to talk about the segment with Manson and Steph. Can't not talk about the Manson.
Well, we can.
It's all about the
we
Manson.
Can absolutely get it. I'm trying to. Where the hell was that?
That was right before the Knockouts Battle Royale.
Did I not?
Where they're saying they're the joint TNA digital media champions.
And making out.
But I don't think Tom Hannafin's acknowledging.
And I didn't write it down. I am so sorry. But yeah.
That's you not acknowledging their reign as the digital media.
Oh,
champions.
Man, sir. Oh, man. I am sorry. Oh, man.
He's going to give you an eye poke.
Knee pad up. Knee pad down. Knee pad down. I don't know how it goes.
Pretty much like that.
Like that.
Light beers and lariats.
Light beers and lariats. That's it. Oh, man, sir. Love him.
Although that's not the Manser we've seen yet.
No, now this is.
He might be a different man, sir. He might be a different.
This is just, this is our start of this character is someone who's number one crazy enough to be with Steph DeLander and make out with her PDA all over the place.
Hey, it's not since Angelina Love and Davey Richards that we had.
It was Angelina. You're welcome.
Well, in TNA.
Yeah, I'm just saying in history.
Yeah,
they were the worst.
But yeah, they were the innovators. They were the innovators.
But yeah, they need to. We gotta get this train going for Mance and Callahan because
they're gonna fight and then team up.
Ooh,
I could see that.
Well, as long as they don't make it some weird, awkward love triangle.
Get your mind out of the gutter. What's wrong with you, wrestling fans? Get out of your mouth basement, weirdo.
Well, that's why I said as long as they don't do that, just
I'm sure they won't.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's just messed up. All right. System versus the Hardys and Leon Slater. This was a very fun match. I thought I actually.
Oh, wait. Well, before you get there, Jay, we can't do Mance dirty twice in a row. I don't think you made any notes for Mance tonight. Because then Sammy was looking for Mance.
Oh, see, I missed that. That must have been like right after a commercial.
But then Sammy runs into Kazarian.
Oh, I totally missed that. I'm sorry. My bad.
But then you get Santino involved. So just the fake King and Sammy.
My wife's trying to fire me. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Sammy's gonna have words with you.
He is. He'll message me and he'll be like, "What the hell?"
But then you're right. Six-man tag team extravagant.
And I thought the 6-man tag was actually going to be the headlining match, but
look at the artwork.
It's not. Well, yeah, that's big and bold. I was like, yes, that's it. They're going to do it, but they didn't. So, but yeah, so Moose, just for this episode, he's going to be Fandango. Okay. Fandango and Eddie Edwards versus the Hardy and the Hardys, and Leon Slater. Leon Slater is number one. He's in face paint. Half of the face paint that Jeff is in. Jeff's in full face paint. Matt's got one half of the face, and Leon Slater's got the other half of the face. So it's great.
New gimmick.
I like it.
Yeah, it just shows that they're on the same page, Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
I'll tell you, hey, and Leon getting put with the Hardys,
massive. That's
a push.
Yeah. That is a what do they call that? That's a feather in your cap, bro.
For sure.
Well, J-Bone, from your saying you were a child of the 70s and the 80s, that sounds like a feather earring to me. That too. Like I have no doubt you rocked a feather earring at some point in life.
I may have.
There's no doubt. I can see it now.
Or a crescent, a big old crescent moon earring. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Classic.
Yep. Yeah.
Now I wouldn't know, but I got a bigger question. It's not for you, J-Bone. It's for Alicia. What kind of chip do you got?
Old Florida, motherfucker. Old Florida original flavor. Florida.
Old Florida. I'm not aware of
Old Florida. In lime flavor and sweet and spicy.
Ooh.
That sounds like a good Super Bowl snack food.
It would.
Are they good for dipping into a salsa or
Very
something,
sturdy.
or just eat as is?
It's like a restaurant
I
style
like a
tortilla
sturdy
chip.
chip. That's what it looks like. It looks like you're at Chi-Chi's.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just don't got any salsa.
So Bill, it would be a great Super Bowl chip to have, but Alicia mentioned that she's not going to be watching the Super Bowl this year.
Boycotting.
She's boycotting.
Boycotting.
I mean, let's go Eagles,
The boycott.
but no thanks.
Okay.
I'm a commercial fan anyway,
Is
but
it-
I'm gonna pass.
Yeah. Well,
Even
the whole
ooh,
thing's
gonna
about
pass
Taylor
on the
Swift. It's
commercials?
ridiculous. It's like who's
Is that what it is? Is it a
It's
Swiftie
no,
boycott?
it's Taylor Swift's boyfriend's football team, right?
well, it's
Well, that's the team
Oh, yeah,
called
so-
it's Taylor Swift's boyfriend's
So
team
the officials.
it's right after he wins, he's going to
versus the
propose.
Eagles.
It's so stupid.
You know what? Sometimes he's in there. I wonder if Daniel Spencer's in the chat.
Or maybe they're just
Because
vibing and
obviously-
having a good time, and there's no pressure on marriage.
The officials are a big story of the
Yeah.
Super Bowl because it's out there. Like pretty much everyone's like, the old chefs have the refs in their
Yep.
pocket, and people think it's like a big conspiracy. But what would an official think of such a thing?
Because they're already saying that the script got leaked for the Super Bowl. It's like, oh,
The old script.
You better check those balls. Make sure they're not deflategate.
Tommy didn't deflate those balls.
Make sure Brady
Yeah,
ain't
well,
anywhere
deflate
near
those
that
balls.
field or those balls. He'll deflate them.
Get Tommy away from the balls.
speaking of balls. Oh, sorry.
We already did a Manscaped ad.
We already talked
Yeah,
about it.
So
they already
not
got it.
a
They already
good
got
lead-in.
what they get. Yeah, unless you were dropping a Balls Mahoney reference.
Rip. All right. Where are we at here? Oh, yeah. So, okay. So, great tag match. Hardys and Leon Slater
Yes.
win. Leon Slater's just so much fun to watch, but we got to say how the match finished and who pinned who. Jeff Hardy.
That's important.
Jeff Hardy.
Shocking. Twice
Yes.
now.
Not
Twice.
once, but now twice.
It's happening.
Jeff Hardy pinned Moose.
We got to get it, right? Like, they can't just not realize they're booking the matches
Yeah.
this way. That's now the X Division title holder got pinned twice by the charismatic
Yeah.
Enigma. Like, you got to have the match. You got to have the X Division title match, dream match, Moose versus
And
Jeff
I don't
Hardy.
care if he's already a tag team title
Is that the
holder.
live episode, maybe?
Put
Yeah.
the freaking X Division title on Jeff.
Oh,
Do it.
you want to do it.
Okay, hang on.
You're going, do
You
it.
cowards, do it.
But right now, you go with the buzz and everything. You put the title on everything already. But they're obviously teasing that match. Like, they can't just like not go all the way
Yeah.
with it. Because now he's pinned him twice. Like you were protecting Moose pretty
Yeah.
heavy, and now he's been pinned twice now by Jeff Hardy.
And look, I love the fact that Moose is champ because it shakes stuff up. And I'm good with that. I like a good shake up. Like, whoa, they threw the title on him. Oh, who's gonna beat him? No one's
Well, as long as you're shaking it up and not shaking it off.
right. It's like, well, no one's gonna beat Moose for a while, you know. So he's defended it successfully, a few times now.
Couple
But-
times.
But and here's the other thing. Moose is one of those where I'm good with him having it. I don't want him to have it forever. Because if he just goes through like 20 people, then it's just ridiculous. Then it's like, well,
It gets stale
right,
Well,
again.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you gotta like,
He just got his new belt.
yeah. Well, and that's what makes it even more like, you know, and I'm okay with them having the new belt around for a while. I still haven't taken that close a look at it. It looks like there's a different strap on it.
Yeah, it's like an orange.
I don't think the plates are that different.
Strap.
I could be wrong.
Well, the plates are gold instead of
Ooh.
silver.
I thought they were gold.
No, the X Division belt's silver.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a great looking belt. So, they were, it's not made of, moose skin or something like that. So,
Moose skin. Moose.
they're not extinct, right? Never mind.
Did you know
Only
that the
Jada.
natural predator to the moose is the killer whale?
Yes.
Oh my god! All right. Next,
Love dropping moose.
now this next little backstage segment is very interesting. Did not see this one coming. Number one, the good hands are arguing. So I feel like that's starting the road to dissension. Maybe a little split ski up ski, down the road. And Ali is like, look, you two got to get it together. You're not just good hands, you're great hands. Or he said something to that effect.
Aren't they in his group?
No.
They were briefly his last
Does
go
he not
around.
have a
They filled
cabinet
in for a
anymore?
bit.
What happened?
They were part of his group.
Kind
briefly.
of for like a couple of times, like in and out.
He's working on a new coalition. Yeah.
Well, Tasha is going to be part of that, and that is interesting.
So it took me a second to figure out who that was. I'm like who's got the head and the hands? Who's this? And then she lifts her head up, and I'm like, oh, it's Tasha Steelz. So then, Ali's trying to pick her up emotionally. Like, here, take my hand.
What he does.
Well, she takes his hand and he doesn't like lift her up. I'm saying emotionally, he's trying to pick her up from where she was.
Is he still the president?
It's part of the campaign.
Metaphorically speaking.
Yes, okay.
She takes his hand, kind of puts his arm around her like, hey, let's go talk. Let's go talk about your future. We've seen this happen to you a few times now, So, yeah, that's right. Critical Sting. Yes, Ali ditched them for the grizzled young veterans. And then they left for greener pastures, those sons of bitches. So, and what are they doing now? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, hopefully they're being well compensated.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure the checks are cashing.
Reminds me of a song,
right?
J-Bone. A very good song. Take the money and run.
It's a great song. Great song. Next we got so Ali's putting a new team together, which is good. He's got a new, for lack of better words, a new.
And just once again, welcome back,
yes.
Ali. Welcome back. We missed you.
Yes, he's going to be proving this every week why we missed him, because of things like this. Like, that's right. What's he doing here? I like this. Next, we got the final two matches of the episode that are back to back, just split up by commercials. Matt Cardona versus Mike Santana. And Matt Cardona proves here that he is not always ready. Your guys' thoughts on
sometimes that? On time.
Sometimes on time.
I don't know. Santana's just on another level. I mean, good luck.
Yeah, he's the standard.
He is the new standard.
Like he got the first rub from Josh in the I Quit match we were talking about earlier. So yeah, no, and obviously Cardona doing good business here. Obviously he was the first one to go down on the live episode to Joe Hendry's title reign. But now obviously Santana, who we know is going to get the big push this year, like he will be fighting for the title at some point this year. So once again, and Cardona, say what you want about him, he's still like he's a guy. He's a name. He's got a lot of supporters out there,
and he's a veteran. He's no slouch.
Yeah, and that helps put Santana over. Another guy they've done a great job with. Like I'd say he's a foundation guy right now. Yeah. So yeah, and yes, the mayor, the lack of disrespect that they were shown with the "We Want Chelsea."
I thought that's what they were.
Hey, and kudos to her, former TNA Knockouts champion
Hot
herself,
mess.
Chelsea Green, the hot mess. But she's doing great work over there. So obviously, the last time we saw her, she was tagging with Deanna, and they doing good work there. But she's elevated her game. Like she's one of the most over acts over there with the women's U.S. title. So,
yeah,
congrats to her.
Well, and considering it, her cabinet is kind of falling apart from the mishaps that happened at the Rumble. Seeing as she was eliminated by her own cabinet member, Piper Niven. What do you think the odds are of a newly crowned United States women's champion maybe making her way to TNA? And
she's got the history. She's got the history.
She could become part of Ali's.
It depends if she gets involved more with NXT. I don't know her current involvement. I know she was there not that long ago. But like I know like Bailey's in an NXT angle. So I'm sure like people are probably all over that. Because obviously if you're in an NXT angle, then there's much more of a shot that you show up in TNA.
Because I think that Chelsea should show up and become part of Ali's staff.
Ali's staff.
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if anyone that has a main roster title will get that much of a.
They can camp. I'm just saying they could both campaign together. You know what I mean? It's
they can both campaign, dueling campaigns.
Do I think it's going to happen? No, but I just visually I thought it'd be funny. All right, so
she'll be right next to that invisible John Cena because you can't see him.
That's right. All right, so yeah, fun match. Mike's on a roll here. We'll just keep this train going for Santana. We love it. Main event time. So we've got the NXT. Now this is a first. This is the first apparently that the NXT Tag Team Championships have been on the line on another show. Well, that's what they said here.
Weren't they on the line in the live show?
I don't think so. I think they were just
there. It was just a contest.
Something like that. But the Nemeth brothers, Nick and Ryan, versus Fraxiom. Nathan Frazer and Axiom, the NXT Tag Team Champions. Your thoughts, guys?
Go ahead, Bill.
I said it last time. Fraxiom, very impressive tag team.
Yeah.
Very skilled, no doubt about it. And it feels like we are getting now, obviously, the Nemeths as a tag team going forward. So obviously, I thought they did pretty good here. Obviously, Nick's always bringing it in matches, and hey, Ryan's doing his part for his brother.
His
so,
brother.
But no, like you aren't going to beat Fraxiom here. They're at the top of their game. It feels like, who knows, maybe it'll be the Hardys that will dethrone Fraxiom at some point.
Who knows?
So, some people in the chat are saying that the titles were on the line. I'm trying to find.
Maybe that's a bad intel, or just maybe a bad wording.
Hang on, I'm going to find this. Just give me a second. Okay, Josh gets attacked. Hardys versus Moose and JDC. We find out Manser. Oh, okay. So, yeah, history was made as the NXT tag team titles were defended in a TNA ring for the first time ever. Maybe that's how they were talking about it. And the first time it was defended,
they were referencing they won
against the Rascals. Maybe that's how they worded it, and I misunderstood it. But yeah, it was the first time during that live episode. Rascals versus Fraxiom. Okay. Got that cleared up. Okay. My bad. Misunderstood.
No. It's okay,
Joe.
Too many lollipops.
Mrs. Bones says, fired again. Oh, thanks a lot, babe. Thanks a lot. All right. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. And of course, it's just amping up the drama, this slow-paced road of drama between Nick and Ryan. Ryan goes to get a chair. Nick's like, no, let's not do this. And he gets kind of, clobbered out of the ring accidentally. Ryan takes the pin. And the last thing we see
for his brother.
The last thing we see is Nick, Nemeth, just sitting on the ground outside of the ring and just kind of contemplating, like, what am I doing? Why does this keep happening?
I was the world champion. Yeah. What happened?
Now I'm losing tag matches with my brother. Jiminy Christmas. Something's got to change here. I think I should stop hanging around so much with my brother. So yeah, I like the story. Something's gonna blow up soon.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna get their teeth kicked in one of these times.
Maybe JBL will get involved.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned that, because he was mentioned on this episode. And I think it was during this match. I'm pretty sure. And it was just like, they brought it up again. And it's like, yeah, okay, now where is he?
Nobody knows.
He's in Joe Hendry. And then he's gone. Come on.
The clock's ticking.
Let's go. Before
meters running,
before the Bermuda Triangle sucks up JBL and we don't see him no more. Something's got to happen somewhere.
That's it. No JBL. Just a dejected Nick Nemeth, and the show's over.
Just very, very sad. Very sad, Nick.
Get him the ambulance.
Yep. So what happened to the days where, Nikki was so happy with all those other guys in green. Those days are long gone.
Where's the spirit? Where's the spirit?
Where is the spirit, right? So yeah, so that is the episode. Good episode.
Yeah.
We're starting things are starting to happen.
Very NXT heavy.
It was
NXT heavy, a lot of NXT.
It was,
I'm
but
sure
it was
it'll come and go.
Yeah. It was fun. I don't feel like it's overdoing it. Do you feel
bit.
A little bit?
Little touch too much.
Okay.
A lot of people, it's like, who are these people now? Again, I'm a TNA fan, strictly TNA fan. So
okay,
and it's not that it's just preference.
Okay.
So
yeah,
process is fine.
We had Cora Jade, we had Wesley's crew there,
Fraxiom and the princess lady.
Yeah. Oh, and Ariana Grace. Yeah. So yeah, this actually was probably the heaviest NXT related one we've had in a while, actually, as far as appearances. But
they're loading up. Well, and it makes sense because they're going to go to Florida, and I'm imagining there's going to be a heavy presence in Florida,
Probably.
But last time they were in Florida, there wasn't. So who knows? There was a little presence. There wasn't. I thought it'd be much heavier.
But that was before.
I got to imagine now. Yeah, it was official.
Yeah. Now it's So now we just need HBK to show up. Can we get a segment with Santino and HBK?
I don't know. You don't get HBK in San Antonio. I'm not sure if you're getting them there. So we'll see.
And I thought that was a given. I seriously thought that was a given. I'm like, he's going to come out in, HBK is buying
Get
TNA.
That San Antonio pop.
Okay. All right. I guess not. It's all right. All right. So that's going to do it for our show tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out all the links in the description. Our socials are down there. Our socials are right here below our pictures here. And the Chris Bay link is in the description still. Please, if you can't help the man, share the link, or go get some merch or something, he's having some rough times right now. And and please go check out our sponsor, manscaped.com. They got a lot of new stuff that they're doing. Promo code TNI for 20% off and free shipping. One of the best deals around right now. Not bad. So, but for these two, I'm J-Bone, and we will see you guys next week. Take care.